What's up, guys, man? I was watching a video. It was a post-fight conference of Tandil Corside, whatever. I forgot how to pronounce his name, but he was fighting Tommy Langford, right? And the commentators were being ridiculously biased, the British commentators, but so I had to turn off the commentary anyway. So my pronunciation might not be on point, but anyway, after the fight, right, the fight ended in a brutal knockout, pretty much quite brutal, right? Langford was knocked out pretty much cold by the Georgian Cortez, and it was a good left hook. And this guy who called himself Mini Mike Tyson, right? He's the mandatory challenger for Billy Joe Saunders in his next fight. So Billy Joe Saunders versus Cortez is gonna go down. And man, I've got quite a bit of respect for Billy Joe Saunders, even though he talks a load of crap. But I like hearing his interviews because the crap he talks ain't even that bad, and he does come up with some smart stuff now and again. But yesterday at the press conference, I don't know, something about him wasn't right, or something was just ridiculous. I mean, this guy, he looked stressed, if anything, right? He looked stressed. As soon as the press conference starts, yeah, if you watch the whole press conference, he just looks like not himself at the beginning. And, he looks, maybe it's because his boy, or whatever, Tommy Langford, got knocked out, but I don't think he's got any close relations with Tommy Langford anyway. All that is to him, I think, is a fellow British fighter. But, maybe this guy's, panicking. I mean, this guy, obviously, he fought Artur Akavov in a local Legend Center in his last fight, and he looked like shit. He didn't look like a middleweight champion. He said it himself, and, a lot of people had that fight going Akavov's in Akavov's direction and had Akavov winning the fight. And I'll tell you what, right? Avtandil Cortez, whatever his name is, yeah, I've been watching him in a couple of fights. He got outclassed by Hassan Ndam, and I think Billy Joe Saunders will outclass him as well. But he's dangerous. He's dangerous, man. He comes forward. He doesn't stop coming forward. He's a bit of a trash talker, and he lands big punches. He landed a very big left hook, which knocked out Tommy Langford, who's a British prospect, for those of you who don't know. And that fight, he kept on coming forward. I love the way he fights. It is similarly Tyson-esque, but it's not really as fast or as dramatic as Tyson, and nor does he have the same power as Tyson, but he has got good power as well. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think Billy Joe Saunders outclasses him, but this guy cannot be taken lightly at all. I mean, what's he got to lose, really? But one thing that got to me, right, was Billy Joe Saunders in the post-fight conference was saying how Cortez should go back to Georgia, and how Georgia was full of cunts and Britain was full of fighters. Number one, Britain is not full of fighters. I mean, it's just your average country, really. I mean, it's not notoriously a hard place, unless you go to certain areas. And number two, right, Billy Joe Saunders keeps complaining. Obviously, he's a gypsy, and racism isn't right in any case, alright? I mean, Billy Joe Saunders is a gypsy, and he's experienced a lot of racism as well. And here this guy is talking about Cortez going back to Georgia. And, he's just ridiculous, man. I've lost a lot of respect for Billy Joe Saunders after he's saying that. If anything, right, I don't think Cortez is particularly the worst opponent around for Billy Joe Saunders. He's a good pressure fighter, though, and he has improved since his Hassan Ndam loss. But if anything, Billy Joe Saunders, to me, looks a bit scared. And I'm not saying that he is 100% scared, but he just seems not himself at the post-fight conference. You know, this guy could catch anyone. I mean, like, Billy Joe Saunders, yes, slick fundamental boxer or whatnot. Yeah, he's slick. He's got technique. He's quite fast. But he's not in shape either. I mean, how long has he got to fight till this fight? About 2 and a bit in a month. I mean, they're fighting, I believe, in July. So, you know, will he get fit in that time? I don't know. I mean, he hasn't fought since December of last year against Akovov, and he looked like shit, really. And to be honest, yeah, if he comes in like that, I think maybe he might just get caught and knocked out by Corsi's. And but you know, this is a good clash of styles, and you know, Corsides, he's only 5 foot. Well, some say he's 5'4", but I believe he's 5'6". That's what I said in the Tommy Langford fight. So let's say he's 5'6", right? He does not look big at all. He's short, and you know, he just plows in. He jumps up and down, and you know, when you're getting hit from that angle, right, it's very hard to get. Like, I know from experience, right, it's quite hard to tuck in your chin against someone who's short like that. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Billy Joe Saunders does. I think he's gonna win this on points, but you know, who knows? He might just be worried in a way, or maybe we don't know that Tommy Langford's his boy. I don't really know much about Billy Joe Saunders and Tommy Langford's relation, but you know, I don't really know. Well done to Corsidze on his win last night against Tommy Langford. He looked really impressive in there, and you know, some say that he even beat Hassan Ndam. I had it it wasn't like Hassan Ndam completely dominated him. I mean, Corsides, he did well as well, and you know, this guy's crazy. You know, I was watching the interview with him, and he's a bit of a crazy guy. He calls himself Mike Tyson, the White Mike Tyson, and he identifies as from Brooklyn, which is strange, and he calls himself a crazy black man. You know, funny guy all around, and you know, who knows? He took the trash talk from Billy Joe Saunders quite well, and when Billy Joe Saunders was confronting him, you know, he sort of laughed and made monkey noises at him. And you know, Billy Joe Saunders was literally letting nothing get to his skin. I mean, letting everything get to his skin, shall I say. I mean, the trainer said Corsides is ready right now, and Billy Joe Saunders was getting aggressive with Corsides. And you know, I tell you what, in street fight, I'm taking Corsides to stop Billy Joe Saunders. But you know, that's irrelevant. Corsides took it well, the trash talk well, and you know, Billy Joe Saunders, man. I mean, one thing trash talking against somebody who at least speaks English, right, or is from the same country as you, but you know, Corsides, this guy can't even speak much English. I mean, he probably didn't even understand half of the stuff Billy Joe Saunders was saying. I mean, Billy Joe Saunders, you need to get your trash talk game a bit higher, man. I mean, you're turning into a bit of an Adrian Broner with your trash talk. But yeah, let me know what you think of this video. I think it's ridiculous how Billy Joe Saunders is trying to tell Corsides go back to Georgia, even though he's experienced racism himself, and you know, he's being a bit of a twat, a bit of a Adrian Broner. Let me know what you think of this video. Like, subscribe, and share. Peace.